Back from the past and into the present. Yeah, I just came up with that. Anyways, never really expected myself to make another vid on the same day, but I just found something out. I just found something out. I'll make this quick. I checked Diamond and Pearl, and then I remember back. Wait, wasn't this announced back in 2004? And then it hit me. Sun and Moon announced this year, right? Announced this year, and I know I know people are gonna say, oh, but could this also come out? This can possibly come out 2018 or something, right? Because the Kalos, which I understand, I actually agree that like the Kalos journey at least is gonna end next year, I think. Not really this year, next year. But here's the thing, and I'll make this also quick. Diamond and Pearl was announced at E3 2004, and it was around late May that time I checked. Pokemon Emerald was announced July 2004. See any pattern? That's right. Sun and Moon, kind of announced, though they're more from a rumor site, were announced before Pokemon. Uh, well, actually, forget that. I'm sorry. So there could be a possibility that this Pokemon Sun and Moon could be speculated, and speculated to the point where there's no confirmation of Pokemon Z or Delta Emerald. But, however, that doesn't mean that they, and then people will say, but it's 20th anniversary of Pokemon. I get that. But what I do expect is we're not going to see gameplay footage. I don't expect that. I don't expect us to receive gameplay footage of Sun and Moon. I think what they're really going to do is they're going to trademark it. They're not going to say anything about it. They're not going to say anything about this in Pokemon Direct. They're going to say something about this in E3 this year. And then that's the announcement. Totally. Until they, did enough hype, I think, for Z. I think, which E3 would be a good time because if I measure and if Pokemon companies really, want to do it better for their announcements of Pokemon games, they would do it 5 months prior to the launch of that Pokemon game. So they're announcing it this year, and they show some gameplay. It could very well come out, I think, in like late July, which by that time, we already know enough about Z or Delta Emerald if those are the games, which I'm still pretty sure those are the games. Look, if I get proven wrong, I'll admit my apology and all that kind of stuff. But I'm still sure. And I think what this is speculation. Look, if they announce it this tomorrow, all I'm gonna say is, even if they announce it tomorrow, it's just gonna be trademark. That's it, name. That's all. You're not gonna see any Legend of Pokemon. I think they're gonna reveal the Legend of Pokemons for Sun and Moon at E3. I think that's gonna be how it is. And this isn't the first time they've kind of done this. Even though it might be a little bit different, and tomorrow we could get announcements of Pokemon Delta Emerald, Z, and then Sun and Moon, right? But they would release more information about Z and Delta Emerald because those games, because you got to finish up that Kalos saga and stuff. So, but Sun and Moon, they're gonna announce that trademark it. We don't know much. And I think it could slip on people's radar right about then. So don't get hyped for that. Don't get totally hyped for like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a new generation this year. No. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait till E3, and I think they're gonna reveal Legendary. Wait till around January of next year, and you might reveal the starters. Maybe. And then my guess is probably the reason why this got trademarked was probably for us to kind of see and just kind of see this because I'm probably one of those people that kind of saw that 1 year gap between Pokemon games kind of like not really good for the series. I mean, what is it? Emerald and Diamond and Pearl had a 2 year gap. I think Gold and no, Crystal and Ruby and Sapphire had a 2 year gap, and I think those 2 year gaps were really necessary to kind of make the games as good as they are as we know it. So if they were to announce it like this, that means that they pretty much were in development of this prior to maybe fall somewhere. They wouldn't like trademark this, and the trademarks wouldn't be this like official, right? Before like after some development, like at least 3 months of development, 4 years of development, sort of. I mean, six. I would say 6 years of development, and then they came up with the name for it. Hey, I'll just say, I think that's how they're gonna do it. I think that's how they're gonna totally do it. I think that's how they're gonna totally do it because I think I've seen this pattern before, and and I think they're gonna do it better this time instead of announcing that third version after, you know, the next generation of Pokemon paired versions. They're gonna announce them at the. My guess is they're gonna announce Pokemon Z and Touch Emerald first. Well, not first, but at the end they're gonna announce it, and then a little bit at the end, reveal the logo, Pokemon Sun and Moon. So I guess I kind of changed my predictions after hearing this, and I think now it makes sense to me. I think now this Sun and Moon kind of thing makes sense to me, and people have been saying, but there's not really much to do in Z, and that might be true, but they might do the storyline of Team Flare better. I mean, you're going through that same journey, but it's gonna be different. Like, there's that whole mystery of Zygarde, right? And you might be seeing Zygarde in the beginning with that squishy Ponychan. So, and they also might pair it up with another third version, which might be Delta Emerald, which I think that would actually help, because that would actually help sell the third version at least. Make sure it actually has about the same numbers as the first paired versions. And I think that would be, yeah. And I think maybe every Pokemon fan wanted the multiple regions, and I already said this in the last video. Yeah, I think that's what they're gonna probably do. They're gonna start with those 2 paired third versions, which is gonna have Hoenn and Kalos. That's what I think, at least. And I think that'll just be about it. For what I think. That's what I think, at least. And and I think after looking at this news and looking at everything else, it makes sense. I think this should at least, my theory should pretty much, I think, make sense of why all this and stuff. And for those who disagreed, right, like I did, no, they're not going straight to Generation 7 or Generation 6.5. They're gonna have to finish this Kalos saga, and then that'll be about it. So this isn't the first time that they've kind of done this. They've done this pretty much 2004, Diamond and Pearl, Emerald. They were announced that same year, so this could very well probably be a similar situation. So I think that's to keep in mind. You're probably not going to see the main legendaries of Sun and Moon to probably E3. I mean, that's how I think Diamond and Pearl pretty much were announced with the legendaries. And I've already said this before in this video I'm making right now. So that'll be about it. That's all. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested in theory videos like these. Starting to make these and whatever, and look forward to more videos besides these that you might be interested in. And as I'm always gonna say, see me in the future.